this is an iHeart podcast. Guaranteed human.
If audiobooks are your thing and you've been meaning to listen to more of them, you should check out a podcast called Earsay, the Audible and iHeart Audio Club, hosted by Cal Penn. Each episode spotlights standout audiobooks on Audible across all kinds of genres: sci-fi, comedy, romance, thrillers, and more, with Cal talking to guests who help break down what makes each story worth listening to. It's a fun, easy way to discover your next great audiobook. Check out Earsay on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Hey everybody, get this. The Stuff You Should Know book that's coming out this fall, the incomplete compendium of mostly interesting things, it has a cover now. It's been born, it's arrived, and we're showing it off on all of our social channels. You can go over to Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, all those jams, and check out our new cover now. So go check it out. It's free to check out. So go. Hey, and welcome to the Short Stuff. I'm Josh. There's Chuck. There's Jerry. This is Short Stuff. I'm Josh. Jerry's over there. There's Chuck. Let's go.
Car radios. Killers?
I know, this is, so I have to say this article was like pretty great. It's a How Stuff Works article, and it's why do we turn down the radio when we're lost? And it was like, it's got that kind of classic How Stuff Works sheen where it's like, well, here's the simple answer, but let me find all this other stuff that has to do with this that makes it that much more interesting, you know?
Yeah, it's also kind of funny to look back to the 1930s and realize that their cell phone was the car radio, and they were just as worried that it was going to kill people driving.
Yes, right? So, like, there's this question, like, are we, every time we're worried about some new technology, is it the same thing as when people before us worried about technology that proved to be totally safe? Or will we eventually hit some technology that we're like, oh, actually, no, this one doesn't qualify. It's actually way worse than everything else. And will it be radios again? Maybe they'll have another shot at being dangerous. Who knows?
That's right. Well, in the early 30s, they were so worried about it, they some states fined people who put cars in their radios.
Yeah.
And it wasn't until about 8 years after 1930, 9 years, that they actually did some real studies, the Princeton Radio Research Project. They said, you know what, it's not a big deal to listen to a radio in your car, if anyone cares what we think.
Doesn't that sound like our current times where it's like, this is dangerous, we should come up with some laws to protect ourselves against this, and then finally we're like, oh, let's actually study it and find out.
Yeah, a little bit.
And then now it's actually fine. So so the radios were deemed safe, right?
They were deemed to not play a role in car accidents specifically.
But the question is this, so at some point the Society of Automotive Engineers basically said, hey, we've got this figured out. As long as you're not distracted for more than 15 seconds while you're driving, you're going to be just fine.
Which is crazy.
That's just totally untrue, right? Of course, anyone knows that these days, that 15 seconds is like a death sentence basically in a car. But did they sign off on radios under that 15-second rule?
I don't know. I think they have now whittled that down to 2 seconds because they realize that driving 3 football fields without paying attention is actually quite dangerous, no matter what song you're listening to.
Right, exactly. So I guess a car drives at 55 miles an hour, drives about a football field every 5 seconds. So yeah, 15 seconds, you can get into a lot of trouble, even at 55 miles an hour.
Yeah, 2 seconds, that seems about right. Because even though you shouldn't be distracted at all, everyone is, I mean, there are things going on that you can't help but be distracted by sometimes.
Did you ever take any of those, like, insurance reduction / DUI schools?
No.
Classes? You didn't do that? I went to that, never for DUI or anything like that. But, like you could get like a discount on your insurance if you were like a teenage driver and you went to take one of these safe driving classes. But inevitably, the instructor would just start shelling out like stories about people doing stupid stuff while they're driving.
Oh, yeah.
And one that always stuck with me was somebody eating cereal while they're driving. And for years, I just thought that was the most bonkers thing. And then I finally saw it with my own 2 eyes, somebody else on the road eating cereal while driving down the highway during a morning commute. And it is as bonkers as you would think. It wasn't any less bonkers seeing it.
I guess because there's a liquid involved
And 2 hands.
that makes it different than eating something else. Well, I can drive pretty well with my knees,
Are you?
but I don't know if I would eat clam chowder.
Can you really? I can kind of, but then I'm also like, I can freak myself out and be like, this is really, really dangerous.
Well, and my car now has one of those sort of driving assistants where you don't have to hold the steering wheel. And that is...
Right, you don't even need knees.
It's super freaky and makes me feel a little bit like unsafe.
Right. Yeah, I have that too, where it's like you start to drift a little bit and then the car just goes, no, and like pushes you back into your lane. One?
It's a little creepy. It feels like your car's possessed.
Yeah, basically. Or it's like a little bossy for my tastes, I think.
I mean, you don't have to use that stuff. You can turn that stuff off.
Yeah, I don't know if you can in the one I have, but maybe. So here's the thing. Distracted driving is an actual thing, but radios got signed off on. Now they realize that if you are driving down the road, just listening to the radio, not like fiddling with it or messing, finding like the right track on your phone or connecting your phone via Bluetooth to your media center or whatever in your car. But if you're just listening to music, it actually helps you focus more. So not only is the radio not in and of itself, or listening to music not in and of itself distracting, it actually helps you focus and probably drive better. So bearing all that in mind, Chuck, doesn't it make sense that it is the most bizarre thing you could possibly do when you're lost and you realize you're lost or you're really trying to concentrate on driving, that you would turn the radio down? It doesn't make any sense if you think about it on its face.
What it does make is a great teaser for part 2. Right after this.
Man, you know me so well.
Well, now, when you're on the road, driving in your truck, why not learn a thing or two from Josh and Chuck? It's stuff you should know. Stuff you should know. All right.
Hey, everybody. I want to talk to you a little bit about Tide Evo because it represents over 10 years of innovation and product development. Tide Evo is a first-of-its-kind technology where tens of thousands of minuscule fibers are spun together to form a 6 times powerful layer packed with scrubbers, brighteners, pre-treaters, and fresheners. And that's going to deliver a breakthrough clean that's so powerful, it feels like magic.
Yeah, it is kind of like magic. Tide Evo is revolutionary. A 100% concentrated, waterless laundry tile that's made of compressed microfiber soap layers rather than liquid or powder. And it's not like pods or sheets because it uses 6 layers of detergent fibers to deliver superior cold water cleaning without plastic packaging of any kind. And it provides a mess-free, lightweight solution that dissolves lickety-split. So whenever you run into a laundry challenge, turn to Tide Evo. It's revolutionary. It's magic. Try new Tide Evo. Real laundry magic. Spectrum Business keeps businesses of all sizes connected seamlessly with fast, reliable internet, advanced Wi-Fi, phone, TV, and mobile services.
That's right. And Spectrum Business offers 100% U.S.-based customer support 24/7 to help you stay up and running. And they offer tailored connectivity solutions with packages built for your business budget.
Yeah, so it's no wonder millions of business owners rely on Spectrum Business to keep them connected. Visit spectrum.com/business to learn more. Restrictions apply. Services not available in all areas.
All right, so if we're talking, what we're really talking about is multitasking.
Right.
And it's pretty interesting how the human brain works. We've talked about the brain ad nauseum on the show, but just as a refresher, you've got the cerebrum. If someone's described as cerebral, that means they have pretty tight, higher cognitive functioning going on. Talking about emotion, talking about language.
Sure.
What's next?
What about the cerebellum?
That's right. That controls muscle movement, balance, stuff like that. And then you got the dumb old brainstem, which just, like if you want to breathe and blink your eyes and stuff like that and get messages between the spinal cord and the other 2 parts of the brain, then your brainstem is going to step up.
Right. So So all of these parts of the brain are kind of working in conjunction to help you do things like drive or walk around or chew gum or whatever. All of them are going to play a role either by themselves or in conjunction, more likely in conjunction with the others. And the way that you do go through life, and not just you, Chuck, or you, dear listener, but everybody, every human goes through life taking in all of the information available to us through our senses, our 5 basic senses, right? Which is touch, hearing, smell, vision, taste, and then the 6th one, our morphic field sense.
That's right. Seeing dead people.
That's right, exactly. Or knowing when somebody's staring at the back of your head.
Right.
So when you get all of this information, your brain is processing it, it's encoding everything, and it's basically, while it's encoding it, because it's getting so much different stuff, and I know we've talked about this plenty of times before in past episodes, but I just still to this day find it fascinating. But the brain is basically saying, this is important, this isn't important. This I can throw away, this I need to put more focus on. And apparently the brain is capable of carrying on at least 2 tasks virtually simultaneously, but one is considered more important than the other. So you got your primary task and your secondary task.
That's right. And switching back and forth between these, your brain is really good at it. It's called attention switching. But it is actually switching, and it does take time. It doesn't take long, but it can add up. And if you think that you're people like to brag about their multitasking abilities. You're not really multitasking, though. You think you are, but what you're really doing is just doing a lot of things more poorly than you would be doing.
Right, exactly. Which is surprising because multitaskers are such like type A go-getters to begin with that you would think if you explain to them like, hey, you're actually doing way worse at each of these different things than you would be if you just did one at a time and completed each task, that they would take up that mantle, but I still suspect that they wouldn't, you know?
Yeah, I mean, anything over 2 is a problem for the brain such that it's not like the brain's like, all right, I'll do all 3 of these at once, but I'm going to struggle. Your brain literally says, no, sorry, that 3rd thing is in line now behind these other 2 things, and they're actually in line as well.
Or the brain might even just toss that 3rd one out.
Maybe.
But yeah, there's got to be a primary one. There's got to be a secondary one. And maybe if it's in a good mood, your brain will take on a 3rd one. But when it switches between these things, because that's the thing, if you have 2 things that you're doing and you can't do them actually in parallel, what that means then is that your brain has to switch between them, right? As they kind of compete for one another, for your brain's resources with one another. And when it does that, all sorts of terrible things happen because it's not an instantaneous switch. There's a very slight delay. And in that slight delay, you can lose attention, lose concentration. Our response time is eaten up. There's a whole bunch of things that kind of go south where if we were just focusing on one thing at that moment, we would be doing much better at it. And we're doing 2 things instead, and we're doing both things more poorly.
That's right, because if you're multitasking, your error rate increases by as much as 50%. And like we said, you're not speeding up anyway. If you're multitasking, it's doubling the amount of time it would take to do each of those things if you were just doing those things.
Right.
So you think you're saving time and you're not.
No. So like you just said it, Chuck, you're doubling the amount of time it actually takes. Multitasking doesn't take less time. It doubles the amount of time, which is mind-boggling, ironically enough.
Yeah, and you probably don't even realize this if you think you're a good multitasker, the small errors you make. And it could be dumb little things like you have to go back and retype a line of an email that you would have typed correctly the first time had you been only doing that. Or zoning out on someone and saying, I'm sorry, will you repeat that? Because I was doing something else. You're literally, your brain is not able to.
Right, exactly. So it makes sense then that if you are you're driving along and you suddenly realize you don't know the way, or maybe you're coming up on a street that you need to turn on and this is not a familiar area to you and you really need to concentrate, you would turn down the radio to remove a distraction from your brain so that your brain can focus more clearly on finding this turn or taking in this other sensory information or making these decisions that it needs to make to get you where you're going, which makes a lot of sense if you think about it.
That's right. And I'm not sure the science behind it, but I'm sure some people are a little more sensorily stimulated than others by different senses. And I'm one of those that sound can really get to me. I've got to turn that radio down if I'm lost, or I'll go crazy. Or the worst thing on planet Earth to me is having two musics playing at once.
Yeah, that's terrible. Like if you have your volume on your computer and you have a tab that's playing music and you open another tab and it starts playing, it's just utter chaos.
Can't do it.
Nope, I'm with you, Chuck. You got anything else about turning down the radio when you're lost?
No, turn it down, people. Do one thing at a time. You'll get there quicker and it'll be better.
There you go. So that means, since Chuck summarized everything so beautifully, that Short Stuff is out.
Stuff You Should Know is a production of iHeartRadio's How Stuff Works. For more podcasts from iHeartRadio, visit the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you listen to your favorite shows.